Hey everyone, this is the Voncast Show, and today I have with me Liezel, aka Meme Queen. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, so today our episode is based on anime and memes, more on memes. So if you have been using the internet the past few years, probably know what a meme is. But I have a definition just in case. I mean, a lot of us know what a meme is, but it's just sometimes you can't put into words. So I got this from a website. Meme is basically an idea, a message that is spread from person to person. In most cases, it's a message highly targeted and spread by users for a niche, within a subculture. Also, videos can be a meme, but if people speak of internet memes, they do today often mean those labeled pictures. It must be mentioned that internet memes are an adjusted phenomena, a behavior that was already there before the internet. Memes are like a bridge that makes a connection between people who share the same interests. It's easy to make a meme and it's easy to share them. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and sites like Reddit, Instagram, or Pinterest, or even blogging platforms like WordPress have a huge community where internet memes become integral pieces of entertainment. People love it if they have something in common. People love to laugh about something together, and that is the reason for the popularity of memes. They are connective, and this is why memes travel across internet like crazy, and why memes are a popular phenomena. So with that said, you like memes, I like memes.
It's
What
a
was the first
connection.
meme you saw?
The first meme is, to be honest, it's kind of hard because you don't exactly know what a meme is
Right.
like until pretty much recently. So, but then I know back then the ones that they called memes, an actual meme was like that, like why
Yeah.
or you mad. But
Mhm.
I do know there was some actually way before that, but not many people tend to, including myself, to be honest, like tend to know about it since they're basically way hidden to the internet.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people now, like the ones that use it, are mainly of our age,
Right.
like early 20s. But we were still kind of little kids. We weren't exactly going through the internet without our parents screaming at us, so
Mhm.
we couldn't be able to see like a lot of some of the memes that are already there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of unfair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were. I don't know. We call them. We just see memes and we didn't even know what they were. Like you said, the first time I saw something that was like officially a meme was a Why You Know guy, and with the scumbag Steve, the Futurama Fry.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like not sure if blank, but
Oh
blank.
my goodness.
I'm trying to think off top. There's the
What
insane.
is air? Do you remember that
Which
one?
one?
What is air?
No.
Like it's actually like us people, what people say when they can't even laugh or like have are so shocked that they are out of breath. So they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
"What is air?" And then
Interesting.
yeah, like people, we don't even say LOL or as we do now, but
Mhm.
people are like, "Dude, what is air?" Every time they show up, say, "Oh, hey, look at this picture. Oh, isn't this so funny?" That's how I know. Like, say, "Oh yeah, it's funny."
See, I think you're like a level deeper than I am in memes. I think honestly I like the normie stuff, but I think you're like a level beneath that, where like you just know more underground stuff than I do. So
A
if
little
you
shame.
no, it's good. I mean that's awesome. I
Um,
wish I
to
was
be honest,
introduced.
it was because so I know it's cringy now, but Tumblr, especially when it first started, I actually had it when I was in elementary
Mhm.
school. So it's bad now if you
No.
think about it, because like you get exposed to so many toxicity that Tumblr already has or something. But before then, there was a lot of memes that they would just post. Like that's when you get to see a lot more memes, and
Yeah.
it was actually funny.
Yeah, Tumblr. Yeah, I gotta credit Tumblr. There was a lot of stuff floating around. I'm trying to think. There was like this. I forget what it's called. It really annoyed me. It seemed like it was relationship advice given by like.
This was it. This guy, like
No,
the
it was like a bunch of relationship advice like given by like adolescents. It was like cushion wisdom. I don't know if you've seen those. Let me just try to pull this stuff out. It like really really was cringy. Hold on.
That sounded familiar. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my god, I follow her.
Hold on. Let me see.
Wait, that's an actual Tumblr, I think, if I remember correctly.
Hold
Like
on.
there's definitely a Tumblr that
Okay.
tends to.
Just little things.
Okay.
Well, no.
No, just little things. That's still
That
that
could be
was
like
a
a
meme.
meme,
That was a
right?
good meme that we
So
make fun of, but
yeah,
it's amazing.
2010. Posting shareable image macros containing text describing small things or actions that make people in general happy. So yeah, it was like those, just little things, having long hair, Uggs. Yeah.
I remember how back in Tumblr, like back when the fandoms were all the craze. So like that's when if you like anime or manga or like whatchamacallit, Doctor Who, Harry Potter, whatever,
Yeah.
fandoms basically. That's when a lot of memes starts for that specific fandom. That's when they really pop up. It's just like,
Right.
like why or why save Earth or something like that. And it's just like I loved it. I remember loving it so much, but then looking at it now, it was kind of like, ooh, cringe.
Yeah. I mean, these are pretty cringy. These inspirational photo quotes. It's like, I like how we talk all. I like how we talk all the time and never get bored of each other. Stuff like that.
Oh no! Oh, I
it-
have a bad memory.
Yeah, it's these quotes that if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. That kind of stuff.
That's hilarious because my 13-year-old self would post that shit
It's
on my
okay.
Facebook.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it says never fight for someone who would rather fight you than fight beside you. Waste of energy. You deserve better. It's this shit right here. I was like, oh, it's so cringy. Like at one point they were cool, but it's like as I got older, I'm like, oh my god, who's writing these?
I mean, like, it's just at that point common sense.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So it's kind of like, like why are you saying the obvious 1+1?
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I think what was great about these in the internet was it gave you an opportunity to kind of express yourself that people could relate to. Because a lot of these are written by teenagers, adolescents. We're all going through like hormones and relationships. So, yeah, I give it, I give it its credibility.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 with memes.
Yeah. Did you catch on to liking memes immediately? Did you think they were kind of corny?
Oh my god. I had a very love and hate relationship with memes, even to this day. And it was because, like, back then when I first started, it was the, oh, why or the, like, you mad? Because I always see it on Tumblr, and it gets funny and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, because in my head, it's Tumblr, like, especially if you're a little teenager, like, Tumblr's just like, oh, a place where, like, strangers and stuff, you're not in a public place. But if memes were being set out in public, when your classmates start saying what is air, this is when you start disliking it very heavily. It's just like, no, why are you there?
Yeah. It does get kind of like played out, but I think it's funny at first.
It is funny.
I
but once
remember
overdone.
remember the Asa dude guy.
Dude.
Yeah. I admit I might have like just killed that. I just kept saying it over and over. It was funny like the first few times, but then everyone did it, and then not because of me, but it's kind of got old. I saw it, and then like you just say it so much that it gets kind of played out.
You become very jaded towards it. Like if things keep happening in front of you, you're just gonna not care anymore. And I feel like that's a little sad because there's some really good memes that you'd want to not fade out, but eventually it does.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You make a good point. Saying them verbally out loud doesn't make it as funny as if you text it or put it on social media. Because when you say it in real life, like, oh wow, like I don't know, it's kind of weird.
In my head, I just think of like, I feel like we have like a voice in our head every time we read things online. Like it's our own. It's like it's a different kind of voice.
Yes.
But for some reason, it makes it funnier.
It
you
does.
know? But
You're
when
right.
somebody else says it, it's you think of you relate it to that person, and you're kind of like, oh, you kind of didn't, they didn't project the joke well.
Yeah. A good example of reading things in your head differently. When I see the Doge memes, when I see dog memes,
Oh, yeah.
I read them a lot different. I think of like this adorable dog that's like speaking broken English.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but people say it's different. Like wow, like such amaze, much
That-
cringe.
That reminded me of before the doggos. There was it was cats first. Do you
Was it?
remember that?
Oh yeah, I can
Like,
has
has
hey, human.
cheeseburger.
Yes.
That was okay. That was actually the first meme that I liked and shared for
Right,
sure.
right.
Because that was cute as hell.
Yeah, they spell human with HOOMAN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, human.
Yeah.
It's a human. Yeah.
Yeah, those were good. And I like my favorite till this day, I've been setting them a lot, are the Doge memes.
The doggos is it like
Doggo, I feel like Doggo came after. But
which
like
one is it? Is it like the
it's a Shiba.
ah
It's this guy.
yes. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of. I didn't remember if there was a tragedy. Yeah, she died. Sorry.
What? This dog
yeah,
died?
yeah, she
Oh
died.
no. Doge died?
Yeah, it was. Honestly, just look at the next picture. It who invented?
Oh
yeah.
my god.
So Dougie, yeah,
R.I.P.
sorry.
Doge. Shiba Inu, who inspired popular internet memes, died in Japan, aged 16.
Rip.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
I mean-
dogs go to heaven.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. This came out in 2012. It's 2017.
Oh yeah, you're right now.
Oh my gosh.
That makes it so depressing.
Damn. All right, that's the end of the podcast. Okay. Wow.
done.
No, I
Funeral.
had no idea. Jeez.
Oh,
Oh man.
that killed the me.
No. I think it kind of like
That makes it legendary.
appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the wow. Like this voice. I say it a very different voice in my head than I do in real life. Like
Mm-hmm.
wow, much scare, such concern.
Oh, yeah. To me, I think of like a very sarcastic dog. Just like, oh wow, so scared.
Really?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Interesting.
Like,
That's very interesting because I think of this like naive, like half, like this dog like barely knows English. Like wow, like I don't think they're sarcastic. I just think like they're like naive, like they're not very intelligent. Like wow, what are you doing? Like much concern, such scare, many edits because they can't speak full English. But that's interesting. Like so you think they're kind of like intelligent, not being sarcastic.
yeah, like in some points, that's why like whenever that people say something, I would say, much scary, wow, wow, and then as in the point is just like it's like wow.
See, that's interesting because I guess people read and interpret these memes differently. Like we both see the same letters here, the same font, the same text, the same phrase.
That was
but
a
we
bit different.
interpret it very differently. Very interesting. Wow. I mean, not like wow. Yeah. So what are some of your favorite memes that you can think of?
A guilty pleasure is actually the Running Man.
Okay, those are good. That's
Like,
good.
That's my number one dance.
Uh-huh. That's
But
good.
like it's mainly because of the doggo meat,
Mhm.
like the dog. Do you remember that video where like the dogs sing out Running Man?
Let's look it up.
It's actually really good, Ron.
Doggo Running Man.
Yeah, that one.
Is it,
It's a video. Yeah, but is that the?
This
yeah.
one?
Yeah,
Oh, I've never seen this.
it's so good. It's my favorite.
What the heck? Wow.
If it did,
So
keep
it's
well.
a dog in the Running Man.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's pretty good. That's really good. I gotta link this. I wish I had video so they can see this, but that's really good. Wow. Thank you. I never knew that existed. See, you are definitely in this meme thing a lot deeper than I am, which is great.
I only like to go for the nice aesthetic memes.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of like cringy, offensive stuff. I guess people are considered like you're like edgy if you're like into
Oh, yeah.
those. I don't know much about those, but
Like to be honest, a little bit of a it's good too, but it also becomes a pet peeve at times. Is when people start using like regular meme, then they put politics into it.
Yeah.
Like Pepe.
Oh
some
yeah, he
reason.
became like this alt-right meme, the OK symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how. Yeah.
I don't think that like people understand that them, or well, at least from what I believe that they would make those things as complete jokes,
Yeah.
because people are assholes,
Right.
but they do it as a joke, it's just like, oh yeah, haha. Like I remember back then the You Mad is they used to do 9/11 jokes. I don't know
Yeah.
if you like.
Oh, I've seen a good handful of them.
Yeah, but we laugh at that.
Yeah.
Like now we can't, but back then we were able to.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay. I think to me, I have a pretty dark sense of humor. I just don't show it. There's a couple people that I like send these like really vile memes to, but when I laugh, I automatically feel horrible. Like, oh fuck, I'm going to hell.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah. Definitely. What other memes?
Oh man. Honestly, like, okay, so the one that I've been going into lately is because two of my friends kept sharing. Some of them is called the Ideal Girlfriend meme, Ideal GF, and it's a lot of them is honestly just trash and it's very like
Oh, these ones.
yeah, so it's just like, oh, like things that you are, like,
Uh-huh.
and then me being a very conceited person, I try to find myself.
Mhm.
But then I also try to find like my other friends, just like, oh wow, this reminds me of this person. Oh wow, this person likes Miku a lot.
Right.
I'm gonna show her this, like, oh, here's your like lolly girlfriend.
Interesting. I've never seen these. I gotta check these out. These are recent, kind of.
A little bit. They've been apparently going on for a long time. I just recently
6 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I just recently got into them. 6
Yeah.
months is apparently very old now.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I am not as into it as I was. These are okay. Looks like it came out of 4chan. Is this 4chan?
It might be from 4chan.
Oh yeah, 4chan's R9K. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Princess.
A lot of that
Girlfriend.
thing reminds me of remember those tag yourself
Yeah.
back in the Facebook?
Yeah.
Like you get to tag your friends and everything.
Yeah.
But oh man, like it came back. Do you realize?
Yeah. I know there's like they have them on Instagram. It's like what they do is they take inanimate objects like cheese, different types of cheeses, and they personify them.
Yeah. I've always enjoyed those things because it's just like, oh, like you could because you relate to things that other people have created and
Right.
stuff, and it could be just like the little things like, oh, is protect, like, oh, the protectful mom,
Yeah.
Innocent cinnamon roll, or like yeah, I called you a
Okay,
cinnamon
what
roll.
is this innocent cinnamon roll?
You know how cinnamon rolls is like the sweet, they're like
Right.
the sweet things.
Oh.
Too good for this world, like when you have a cinnamon roll, you don't want to destroy it, you don't want to eat it right away, you want to treasure it,
Right. Right.
and that's how you think of people, when someone's
Interesting.
so good to you, you're like, oh wow, treasure.
Wow. See, I learned something new. Very interesting. Yeah, I liked my favorite ones were just the older memes. I like when there was a format to it. I think now you just what I see, what I observe, any picture when blank, blank.
Yeah.
When you're blank, blank, and they're funny. But what I liked, I mean, they're funny now. I was very opposed to them back then. But what I liked about the older memes, there was structure. Like why X Y or Boromir. One is not simply X without Y.
Yeah.
There's a certain like you have to kind of get it. You can't just like caption them. If you do, they won't make sense. I like those ones. The Futurama Fry. I like there's like the like Brave Wolf, and there's like the Insanity Wolf.
Do you remember like the blonde guy? I remember it's like the blonde bowl cut guy, but he's like built and he's just like this, like and there's like rainbows everywhere. Crap, I forgot what it was called, but
What is it called?
it's
It's
still very famous to this day. But
what is it
it's
called?
like
Is like the
shit, it's a muscular blonde man cartoon. Just put that cartoon meme. That one.
oh, He-Man.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh god, he's so great. Yeah, that was like and then
Okay.
like you would put a caption on him
Right.
on that.
Right.
I agreed with what you said, like saying, like when you don't do this and that. I liked those ones a lot because it's, something that you can all relate to.
Yeah.
But on how they are now, like especially when it comes to certain TV shows and everything,
Right.
you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that reaction, you don't know what it's for. It could be reacted differently.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the older memes I remember. I don't know if it was a meme. The Rick Roll thing.
Rickroll. Oh, the
Never gonna give you
Oh
up.
my god.
That was like the thing. Like I remember you like trick your friends. Hey, check out this link. They would think it's something else, and then it's that.
Oh, that fucking meme. I've had that happen to me a little too many times. So when I see like a video, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I cheat now, so I would just like go all the way to the end just to make sure. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's this one. Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Yeah, Rick Roll.
dun, dun, dun. That is such a good
Wow, I'm
meme.
watching this whole thing.
He
I
got
didn't say it. Oh, oops. But
he
yeah.
got so much popularity from that. I think that he even memed himself or something.
Which one?
I think Rick rolled himself.
Yeah, definitely. So what about memes do you find fascinating? Like,
Oh. Like how so? Like in what ways?
I mean, what makes you keep wanting to share them? What makes you want to make them? What about them intrigues you? I mean, what?
I think like when it comes to memes, I'm somebody who loves pictures.
Mhm.
Like and finding like, having a picture being able to present like a certain communication that everyone seems to know even
Yeah.
when they don't know the context per se
Right.
really intrigues me because it's kind of like, wow, you don't even know where this is from, like where, like how we all get to this, and yet you seem to understand things. Like I do remember when somebody from like different countries, it was kind of Tumblr, they were saying like, oh yeah, oh, I just know that it's okay to be sassy, yes, hunty, yes. And then I'm just like, well, apparently you know these things, that's great, yay.
Yeah.
I like making them just out of self-hatred, just kidding. It was just out of like something that I wanted to do for friends, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh, let's make an inside joke out of a meme
Oh,
that we might hate,
interesting. Yeah.
like it's because I remember how back in Tumblr, like back when fandoms were such alive,
Mhm.
they would post their favorite characters' heads on a GIF,
Okay.
and that's a meme. Like
That makes sense.
yeah, and then in my head I wanted to bring that back because it's just like, like instead of just putting a character in a show, it could be like a friend, and you could just post that into your group, like your group of friends, and it's
Mhm.
something that you guys can all relate to.
Right.
That's why I was just like, oh yeah, this person will definitely be like, I don't know, shoot, what's a good character in like, oh, this person would definitely be like Asuna from Sword Art Online because she's useless,
Mhm.
blah blah, and then you
Mhm.
could like all roast the person.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I agree on those. I mean, I like pictures too. I think it's kind of weird. I prefer like I don't texting's okay for me, but
Mhm.
I send so many memes to people on Instagram via DMs. It's like it's a way of communicating
Yeah.
for me. It's a way to get a laugh from someone. It feels great, to wake up in the morning, you laugh, or whenever you see them, laughing is a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one reason why I like them is because they're funny, and it's great. You can make people's day with them,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you customize it, you tailor it to a certain incident in your life or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that, and it's very simply easy. You have a picture and a caption. People
Mhm.
get it. You don't need a whole video or a story. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly definitely agree to that. Like, I just go through Facebook, cause apparently that's where all the memes happen now. Like, it's not even sometimes
Really?
just Instagram, but to me it's Facebook. Like a
Mhm.
lot of the stuff I see that I'm just like, wow, this is odd to see my own dad like something. That's a meme.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, but I don't like sharing to them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to say to making a laugh in something, I definitely agree because a lot of our stuff in general, like we tend to, but in the end we still try to find entertainment.
Right.
But like why make it when we can have somebody else already has done it for you, you know? That's why I'd rather like seeing other people's memes, you just like you can share it and everything and it's all good, you know?
Yeah.
The girl will think you're funny.
Yeah.
Slide into them.
Yeah, it's you know memes. It's a phenomenon. I mean, it's been going on for like, from what I recall, from what I remember, my first one was 2012. It's been 5 years, and they just keep going and become more mainstream. I see chemistry and bio memes now, and I get it, and I wonder,
What?
you know, yeah,
How?
like I wonder, you know, if those memes were in our classrooms, if would I have passed? Because I like memes and it's kind of interesting. You know, I see them now in like sometimes in presentations, or just like schools use them.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
it when teachers use them. It actually makes me remember them more because
Yeah.
it's so cringy. But you can't help but think like, wow, gotta give her props for doing those things and try to be relevant to the generation. You
Yeah.
know?
Let me know if you remember this meme. It's the what is it like the what do they call it? It was.
Oh yeah, like the like
Yeah,
it's
where is
like this
that?
woman that's just like there. You know, like the
Mm-hmm.
oh
What is it called? Teacher
teacher mean pointing.
meme point.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Unhelpful high school teacher.
Oh my.
This was oh my god, like it was cringe because I remember this should happen. Requires 3-ring binder. Never punches holes in anything.
Those teachers.
I-
Oh my god.
I think it also spoke because when you see these memes, maybe you can relate to someone you know in the past. You know, a teacher, a friend. Like everyone has had a unhelpful high school teacher meme. So for those who don't know, unhelpful high school teacher is an advice animal image macro series featuring a stock photo of a woman standing in front of a map of the world in a chalkboard. The caption text describes lazy or irresponsible teaching methods, as well as cliche expressions and retorts frequently used by teachers in interacting with students.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm friends with Facebook with some of my teachers from high
Yeah.
school. If that ever comes up, I'm tagging them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh hey, remember this?
Yeah, it's just, and also it's like the stock photos are being used, you know, and then they use those. Everyone knows a scumbag Steve, a good guy Greg.
Oh good guy Greg.
I like good guy Greg. Let's show him what good guy Greg is. I love good guy Greg. So good guy Greg. Oh god, this is taking me back.
Oh, but remember how there was bad luck?
Oh yeah, bad luck Brian.
Oh, God.
Dude, okay.
Amazing man.
Yeah. We'll look at that next. So, Good Guy Greg is an advice animal image macro series featuring a photo of a square-jawed man smiling at the camera with a marijuana cigarette in his mouth. As the antithesis, how is it?
Antithesis.
Thank you. Of Scumbag Steve, the captions generally depict a character as kind, generous, or empathetic to other people. Borrows $5, pays back 10. Sleeps on your couch, makes breakfast.
See, that's the best. That's what people need to be.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, like, I actually think people are making it more complicated.
Yeah.
Like, you know how there's some memes that are meant for the specific communication, and yet people tend to make it different. Like, say for example, the asshole boyfriend one, then there would be like, oh yeah, you know, like, and this is when you would start tagging like other stuff, but it's just like wholesome memes. They would try to make it wholesome, make it good feeling. As much as how great that is, you know, it also kind of defeats the full purpose of
Right.
that stock image. You know, I feel like at times it can get so complicated that it's like, hey, it ain't deep, you know, it's not that
Yeah.
deep, fam.
Oh wait. Scumbag Steve. God. I feel bad for this guy, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
Where is he now? Oh.
Scumbag Steve image macro featuring a kid with a sideways fitted cap standing in the hallway. The overlaid text generally centers around unethical behavior regarding drugs, partying, and other hedonistic behaviors. So example would be, Grandpa gets surgery, steal pain meds.
Oh my god.
You know, don't worry, bro, I'll pay you next week. pukes on something, disappears. So she's like, I guess what you can say with a lot of these are like, there's stereotypes of particular kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the good people, bad people. What's that girlfriend one? Overprotective.
Overprotective girlfriend. That was a video too. It was a music video, no?
Overly attached girlfriend. So this one is advanced animal image macro featuring webcam picture of vlogger Liana Morris and various captions portraying her in a stereotype of an overprotective and clingy girlfriend. So I sewed my name on your shirts in case you forget you're taken. Stuff like that. Or it's like the crazy girlfriend praying mantis. I was looking through your text earlier. Who's mom?
Jesus. Yeah. Those things just were so simple, and I like that.
Me
Like,
too.
it's the fact that it's so simple and stuff. And but as of like right now, I think people are trying to make like the memes into more rounded characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. We're evolving.
Yeah.
You know, but it's kind of like, hey, good old days when we're able to laugh at those things without people getting offended by being like, how dare you think about, oh yeah, I know the boyfriend's cheating. The boyfriend was the one cheating. That's why she's so overly attached. And it's just like, no, you're thinking too deeply into this, you know? It's just, something we know and we could laugh at.
Yeah. I know one that a lot of girls liked was the, what's his name? The hey girl, blank.
Oh, is it
Ryan Gosling?
Oh, yes.
Here.
Libraries use that.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there's some companies that actually use that. Definitely my high school used that for prom. And it's just like, hey, ladies, got a prom date?
Really?
Yeah.
Where is the...
Shout out to CV for knowing some memes but making me cringe at the same time, you know?
Yeah, it's like the Ryan Gosling ones. So this one's the...
He's been in several memes, to be honest. There was the cereal meme. Like,
Cereal.
how, like, Ryan Gosling does hate cereal.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you watch that video, and then I'm gonna tell you what happens.
Let me look it up. Yeah, Ryan Gosling hates cereal.
Yeah, won't eat a cereal. Oh.
These are clever.
Yeah. So about the person who made it,
Yeah.
he died.
Ryan McHenry?
Yeah, he too died, and so that's why in the next video, Ryan Gosling actually eats a cereal as a touching tribute to the meme.
Oh my god, I'm just looking at the comments. Rest easy, buddy.
Here's the guy who made this. I
Oh
know.
my god, it's so sad.
After an ongoing battle with bone cancer, 27-year-old Ryan McHenry, creator of popular meme Ryan Gosling Won't Eat His Cereal, has passed away. Vine's official Twitter account broke the news on Sunday by posting one of McHenry's vines of a beautiful scenic train ride through Scotland, captioning it with, "Your creativity brightened many lives. Thank you. You'll be missed. R.I.P. Ryan McHenry." Ryan McHenry had garnered a large presence on Vine due to his popular series of memes Ryan Gosling Won't Eat His Cereal. Each 6-second Vine features a spoonful of cereal moving toward Ryan Gosling's mouth, and Gosling doesn't seem to be having it. Shortly after he began posting the hilarious Gosling memes, McHenry was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in mid-2013. He then started to chronicle his battle with the disease on Vine. After almost a year of blood transfusion, chemotherapy, the removal of 34 tumors in his lungs, and the incredible amount of support from his followers, Ryan tweeted a meme of Breaking Bad's Walter White with a caption saying, "I beat cancer today, I won the fight, finished chemotherapy and having a rest just now, but here's a message from Walter White, cancer." It was, of course, devastating to hear the news of his tragic and untimely passing, so much so that it inspired the real Ryan Gosling to post a tribute to McHenry on his personal Vine account of, you guessed it, him eating a bowl of cereal. The The actor also took to Twitter, tweeting, "My heart goes out to all of Ryan McHenry's family and friends. Feel very lucky to have been a part of his life in some small way." One of McHenry's friends spoke out about the actor's post, saying, "It's the most fitting send-off any of his friends or family could have hoped for. It was something he had always talked about." A group of McHenry's friends have set up a page for donations to cancer charity Sarcoma UK in his memory. The page has already raised over £3,300. The link to this page is down in the description bar below. Feel free to check it out and to donate. Our hearts also go out to Ryan McHenry's friends and family. Losing someone to this terrible disease is beyond devastating, and to have to physically and emotionally deal with and fight through cancer is just horrific. If you or a loved one is fighting cancer right now, our thoughts are with you. Stay strong, fight on, and cancer. My name is Brie Esrick. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. See how memes kind of like bring people together? I think it's, they're powerful. I mean, they have as much power to offend, but at the same time, there's as much power to like bring people together. Wow.
I think that's what makes things so interesting, is that like it becomes another way of communication.
Right. Agreed. I totally agree. I like when people or friends, they have a situation and they like put it in a meme as opposed to just like texting it. But yeah, wow. Rest in peace. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of the memes that you would see at this, like, you know, like sometimes you would see and then you hear updates of the actual creators. You can't help but have some respect for them for being not only able to like make it so worldwide and like so like well known, but also be able to kind of have a small impact of our lives, whether it's just to make us laugh or make us talk to somebody else. You know, because that is a little, those little changes kind of do matter, you know, in your day-to-day life.
See, I wonder, I mean, with the older memes, it was a template, it was a face. See, I wonder how like Bad Luck Brian, Scumbag Steve, Overly Attached Girlfriend, Good Guy Greg, all those people, like, they're real people. They're not actors, they're not famous. I wonder like what being a meme, how that affected their life.
I actually did try to. I found some search about that. Like, it was just because they tend to pop up every now and then. I'm like, oh yeah, where are they now and stuff. How some people, I think it was Bad Luck Brian. I had to search. I don't remember, but I remember some of them actually went through bullying and stuff because of the fact that they were put in such a like bad luck. You know, like, oh wow, it's such an ugly, unphotogenic picture of that person. You know, and to be fair, it was.
It was a bad picture,
like, but, you know, it was, like, as much as it does bring people together, you know, like, in the end, the person you're making fun of, you know, and look at now. He's making...
you know, I mean, this is him now. More recent.
What happens? Yeah, so, like...
Bad Luck Brian.
Also, remember, like, the, Charlie bet me, you know, those babies?
That guy.
They're,
that
like,
kid.
they're high school kids, I think.
Yeah.
God, how old?
You know,
wow, they have
he's an
kids.
adult now.
Yeah, as an adult now, still has bad luck.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that girl in that car seat, or the successful baby. Success. Yeah, I wonder what he's up to. You know, so I really wonder. As much as we derive entertainment from these, at what cost? You know, do these people who are memes, you know, like, what do they go through? You know, so it's interesting thought.
I think some of them might appreciate it, especially if it's a positive light. But then you also got to think about, because actually my friend is an actual meme.
Really?
He became a meme.
Interesting.
And I was one of the people that actually helped create it. But that actually did affect him, because now all of them just think of him as, oh yeah, you're Mr. Confidence, blah blah blah, and then that's all he's known for. And then, like, you know, there's a lot of frustrations, because if that's, like, you know, like, you're a human being, you have a lot of struggles, and the fact that, oh yeah, no, you're the hype man, you're this confidence guy, you know, but then, like, if you see him on a low moment, what are you gonna think of him now? So, oh yeah, you're not so confident, are you? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I can go to, like, the stereotypes. Let's say, like, stereotypes of Asians. You know, oh, you're smart. You have to get A's. You must be good at math. So when you're not these things, even though they're positive stereotypes, you know, it's very stressful. You know, so correlation to that.
Yeah, I can see that, especially with, like, a lot of the race ones. That's why now we tend to fight over some. But, like, a lot of the, like, I do have to kind of defend some points, just like, hey, some parts are actually made by Asians, and therefore, you know, like, we understand, we went through that struggle, we could laugh about it, you know. But it's just like, you know, when some of them when other people that are not Asians try to defend us, it's just like, hey, we're not, you know, we are tough skinned, you know, this is nothing.
Like you and I can say some like Filipino joke right now, we get it, you know.
It's like, we eat dogs.
What?
We eat dogs.
Yeah. See, like, fine. Yeah, I think I might have eaten dog, to be honest, when I was younger. I was really little, and I think like there was a feral dog, and I think I ate it just cause. See, that's funny between you and me. Now, if someone else who is not Asian says it, I'll have an issue with it.
It's like saying, oh yeah, you're like, you know, some guys say, oh yeah, you eat dog, right? And I'm all like, I'm just like,
no. So there's that. We have the inside joke. Like, we get it. But, like, when someone outside of our ethnicity says it, I take it as offense. It's weird how it works, but I think it's how it is.
It's just like, by dog, you mean your mom, but, you know.
Wow. Ooh, wow.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You know, stuff like that. So, very interesting. Let's see. So, as I said in the title, we talk about anime as well, or manga. What are your favorite animes, mangas out there, if you can list some?
Ooh, so it really does range because I'm actually more of a manga person than I am anime, because you know, some of them are like originally like just for manga and there's no anime related. In terms of anime in itself, it's the thing that will always come to my head, and I'll say so proudly, is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Thank you.
Yes,
I agree,
dude. The Full Metal Alchemist anime, you know, like the first one that came out, it was aight.
It was a little whiny for me.
Yeah, like to me, because I'm somebody who's very by the book, and yeah, I'm that person. I'm very like no, like this. But it's like when it came to like finally having like a brotherhood that really tells the entire story that goes by the book, you know, like you can't help but appreciate it, because that's the one you can see like the actual author's main intention for the anime. Because I do know that the first one, the reason why it was so off, it went to a completely different route, is because she wasn't done, you know, and it's kind of not fair.
Right. I never realized that. I have more respect for it now. Thank you. I just thought, like, what were they doing? And they made Brotherhood. I just felt there was more action. But there's one thing that let's talk about that like gets to me today, was that episode where
Nina.
So I don't know how you laugh at that. You have a very strong stomach. Nina, Full Metal Alchemist.
Good times.
Good times. Wow. Nina Tucker, know your meme. So
I was more upset about May Hughes dying in almost every single first the manga, then both of the, you know, like just to that, because Nina and her other dog, I forgot the dog's name, but crap. But anyways, like they've known them for an episode. But May Hughes, shit, I'm so bad if I'm is it May Hughes? Fuck, wait.
No, go ahead.
It's the best friend of, is it May Hughes or Colonel Hughes? Is it? Yeah, there you go, May Hughes. If it says death, it's the one. Okay, good. Remember him? The best friend that got shot by Envy?
Okay.
Yeah.
My thing is, because Nina Tucker is a kid, you know, a death like this, it's a lot more, it hurts more than seeing a grown character like May Hughes, a military officer. I feel like, you know, if you're in the military, hypothetically, you're in these positions, it might happen.
Yeah.
But a little kid, I mean, come on, man. So, Nina Tucker, Full Metal Alchemist. Nina Tucker is a character from the anime and manga series Full Metal Alchemist, a 4-year-old girl who was fused together with her dog and turned into a chimera by her father. Due to her transformation and subsequent death, she's often used as a troll tactic to anger the series fans.
I'm a fan, and I did get triggered at times, but then, like, you can't help but say it's good. You know, it's a good meme.
I mean, it's a good meme, but this is very it's sad. I mean, like, yo, man. I mean, like
Time to be a daddy.
has science gone too far? I mean, to me, it's just really. It just really like surprised me, because I watch a lot of anime and read a lot of manga, and there's a lot of violence and death, but when it's inflicted upon
A little kid.
little kids, it's a little different, But I get the troll humor about it, but yeah.
Like that will like it does shows the seriousness, of basically of the little kid, because even throughout the series, he Edward Elric will always bring up the point that we couldn't even save a little girl.
Yeah.
And it's always rings true to this day of why Nina is so important. Like Nina and Mayhew's like those important characters' death, because they have nothing to do with the bigger picture of like the whole plot.
Right.
They were just the victims of it, and you couldn't help but feel like such such tragedy, because especially for Nina, that was just based on parental abuse, parental neglect, and human experiment.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
like you just, I feel like in a way to stop ourselves from thinking too deeply into it or from becoming sad, it becomes a defense mechanism for us to kind of laugh about it, be like, oh yeah,
Right.
What does the
makes
dog
sense.
say?
Yeah, and it's crazy because that was the first Full Metal episode I saw. So it had like a
What?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like a while back when it was on Cartoon Network. It was Sunday. I think I was at my friend's house. I spent the night at her house, and I was like upset at my roommates, so I didn't go home. I just stayed at her house. It was really weird just staying there the whole day, and I was trying to escape life. I'm like, okay, let me just like watch Full Metal Alchemist, and I see this, and it's like, oh crap, But I've seen a lot of sadistic stuff. I mean, Future Diary,
Oh, that stuff. Okay. Oh.
that kind of stuff. It's pretty morbid. But yeah, the Nina Tucker thing.
There's definitely a lot darker things, especially now.
I think I think to me it's because it involves children.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yes, there's a lot of dark anime, manga stuff out there.
That's why I also get like, even though I was a kid, I was definitely a kid. I was like, I think I remember being 6th grade, so I might have been like, that's considered like 12 or something like that. I was around that age, like, but I get iffy too whenever I see like little kids use memes, especially to hurt other people.
Right.
Because like there's a lot of like, for example, like when it comes to innocent kids dying and stuff, there was a kid that was so bullied she killed herself.
Yeah.
And the bully they still bully her by making memes about her death.
Wow.
And they would say like, oh yeah, don't tuck me in, tuck me in the grave, and it's like, to me it's so frustrating, because it's just like a simple way of communicating, and yet how like even like kids can like people in general can use it so dark.
Yeah.
And it's such a personal manner.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that, it's really unfortunate. As good and wholesome and entertaining memes can be, they can be very dark, offensive. Yeah.
That's why, like, when it comes to politics and stuff, I do, like, I know many, like, from, I'm friends with Republicans and Democrats, so, like, like, fairly, and I try to be as fair as I can, there's some things I agree with, some things I just feel like it's too far, but then, like, so whenever a lot of them try to make memes of each other, especially doing politics-wise, I know that it's just jabs of it, but like we already have so much of that in in everyday life, and a lot of the news and everything. It's like as a way to get it to inform other people. There's some kids who are just looking at those simple things, and yet they see that. Let's not, like, they're gonna be involved in such like harsh politics already at an early age. I'm just kind of iffy with it.
Yeah. So you said some of your favorite animes were Full Metal and mangas. What else?
I'm into like when it comes to say mangas, there's this really good one. I think it's a Josei, like which means young woman, where it's called like Ran in the Gray World, which is basically like how a young sorcerer, like a young sorceress who's 10 years old, comes from a strong family and she's trying to learn her magic, and yeah, it's a really good, it's very wholesome. Honestly, it's the most wholesome, good, satisfying, and really good like plot, I'd say, and especially for a shoujo josei manga. But another good one is Berserk, if you know it.
That is really good.
I love it.
Have
so
you
much.
caught up to the 2017 episodes?
I'm already in the
ones?
manga. I'm already like I've been caught up with the manga and everything. So
Oh, damn.
I'd say I'm a little bit ahead, I guess.
Yeah, I think so, because last time I checked, or what anime left off was he became possessed. He came in possession of the armor. It was this, I forgot the armor's called, but like this armor like really like helps him.
Is it not
become
Isn't
stronger?
it Berserk armor?
What's that?
Is it Berserk armor at this
I
point?
think so. That's why
Yeah.
it's called Berserker. But he doesn't feel pain, but at the same time he's not himself. So
Mhm.
there's that like thing. Well, you can use it, but you lose your humanity. I was mad that the fairies, their house got torched. I was sad about that. I feel bad about the girl. She barely can like talk. She was like, I don't want her to say what happened to her, but she was, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of trigger warnings, as
Yeah.
I'd say, because having to see those things very amazingly drawn out, you can't help but give respect for her, for that person being able to draw those things out as graphic as it can be.
Yeah.
Infants will die,
Yeah.
women will be raped, and
Yeah.
it's honestly so depressing, but it also makes things, I'd say, a little bit realistic in terms, especially in that era. It's more
Yeah.
medieval times, I
Right,
guess.
Right. Yeah. So you said Josei, which you told me about the term today. So like I asked you earlier about, are there any animes directed towards young women? Because when we think of anime, or the mainstream general population, we think of Dragon Ball, we think of Naruto, Bleach, and what they all have in common, the main characters, the protagonists, are male. It's male driven from a male point of view. Seven deadly sins. So what is Josei?
Josei is, as I said before, is a young woman, and it's mainly towards women that are no longer little girls, known as sojo. And then that's when it directs towards businesswomen, women who are already working, usually at their 30s or like late 20s at that point, or like already or say in college, because this is when they're considered adult, and that's when they have more mature themes, such as it could be simple, it could still have a lot of that romantic sojo like stuff, like romance, simple dating, but it also reveals the truth about, say, the sexism in the workplace in Japan. How a lot of the mangas for Josei that I've seen is when there's an older woman, mainly in her 30s or going to be 30, and how she's been picked on, because even though she's so successful, as a woman, it's frowned upon in society, and how they would often get dumped by men because she's superior towards them, and men don't like that. And a lot of them is also calling them Christmas cakes, where they're basically too old to get married or
Really?
to, like that. Usually, they're not considered attractive anymore, and it tends to happen in a lot of Asian countries. Is when it's just like, oh yeah, you're that age that like you can't bear children, false. But it's like that's when
Right.
you're not considered attractive or marriageable age.
See, I find that like disturbing, because on the flip side, men, for men, it's like, oh, when you get older, it's fine. You have money. The money will attract younger women. I don't think there's the same like standard for looks for men as women. Like as society would say, women are desirable up to this age, because when they look this way, no. With older men, it's like get Hugh Hefner. Like this guy, old dude. Obviously, he's a lot of money, but I just find that disturbing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, kind of like how for shonen, where there's like role models, like they're known as role models. A lot of the josei, the ones that I like, they're the ones that tend to defy those stereotypes and just be like, hey, I rock this. I am a good, I work for this, and it gives you pride, and it really encourages women to strive after what they want.
What are some josei anime or manga that you recommend?
For women out there, especially in terms of retail, and like if you say you want to go into the fashion industry, or if you want to go to a lot of those like industrial jobs. A really good one's called Real Clothes, and it's basically how there's this woman in the just a department store, how she ended up going to another department was just clothes, when originally she shared she just sells mattresses. So she had to work from the from the bottom all the way to the top, and actually by using her her intelligence, her able to persuade people, and basically through her hard work. And it also shows how like the struggles of her wanting to get married, but because her having to choose her job and her boyfriend, you know, it really brings out realistic issues that
Right.
I'd say women face.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one that I would recommend. To be honest, there's some really bad Joseis that I just don't really want to like. It's because they just what they just do is they just talk about sex,
Uh-huh.
and they end up just, you know, the reason why they like, and then that's about it. As great as sex is, you know, like that's how they fall in love.
Right.
And it actually shows that men can become the men that they go after are very dominant and a bit abusive.
Right.
That's what I don't like about it.
Right.
Because they're trying to tell women, hey, yeah, you know the guy that's a bad boy, you know, go after them and marry them, and they'll
Right.
become a good man in the end. That's not true.
Yeah, you know, one thing that strikes me when you said that was the relationship that Harley Quinn and Joker have.
Oh God.
You know, I found it a problem that after Suicide Squad, that a lot of women were like, "Oh, I want to be like Harley Quinn. I want to be in a relationship like Harley Quinn and Joker." For those of you who don't know, in the cartoons, comics, point blank, you know, Joker is very physically and verbally abusive to
Mhm.
Harley Quinn. Multiple occasions, he hits her, says degrading things towards her, yet, you know, Harley Quinn seems to be okay,
Mm-hmm.
still loves Mr. J. So when women were glorifying these, oh, I want to be like Harley Quinn, she's crazy, I love the passion between, you know, Harley and Joker, I was outraged because, you know, this is, you know, real life, this is domestic abuse.
Yes. And I also definitely agree to that. It's just like a lot of people tend to romanticize those things.
Yeah.
Also, you know, like Romeo and Juliet, that's also kind of weird. Lolita, if you've ever read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like those things are like very toxic and not as, you know, like very impulsive, very destruction, like, you know, very like it just makes you, and yet you crave it for some reason. And I think it's because they would think like, oh, I'll be the savior, I'll be saving them from that destruction, like, you know, that bad guy, no, I can heal this person.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like, no, you're gonna be faced with a very immature man or woman, you know, and you're gonna hurt yourself. You know, you have to find somebody that's mature and, you know, very caring.
Yeah.
You know, as boring as that sounds, it's really not. It becomes,
It's good.
yeah.
I
it's a
think
really
that's
good
what
thing.
it is. You know, like with these sort of relationships, you see just the certain highlights, like, oh, like, you know, it's so up and down, and you feel alive. But you know, when you go through this in real life, it's totally opposite. You know, you don't want to deal with these things. You know, it's damaging.
Mhm.
So yeah. We were talking earlier about what do you think the significance of anime and manga is to their core audience. So let's say, you know, early teens, mid-teens, late teens. What about them do you think is so appealing?
I think it's I want to start out with the shonen one because I feel like that's a more obvious example. And a lot of the main characters you could see are usually weaklings. They're usually the outcasts, bullied, have a tragic background, you know, feel like they're, you know, the black sheep of the family. And a lot of the people tend to, especially young boys, they feel towards that person. They think they're that person. They think they're Naruto before he got strong, you know. But then when they see Naruto work hard, you know, start to develop friends just because of their personality, and that's really how it should be, you know, how he defends them and how he grows stronger, they want to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that my friend, shout out to you, Brent, is he was somebody in 8th grade. He told me he was overweight and everything, but because of Naruto, he became a track star in high school. Like track star. Like he was in track team. He would lose so much weight. He became so fit that he's now in the Air Force. Like traveling around and like helping people out. And honestly, knowing that there's so many young men like him that were so inspired by their favorite anime and being able to change themselves for the better,
Right.
I feel like what more can like it's amazing how
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah, I agree. I found something interesting with Dragon Ball, whereas all of Goku's friends at one point, they were his enemies. Krillin,
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yamcha, Tenshinhan, Chaozu,
Vega.
Piccolo, Vegeta.
Vegeta, Vega.
Like all of them were his enemies. What about Goku attracted to him? I think it's his personality. I mean, sure, yeah, he's the strongest one, quote unquote. I think Vegeta should be stronger, but that's me. But something about Goku, his he doesn't fight dirty, very honorable. He gives people a second chance. I think that's fascinating, and I think that like he draws out like this, I don't know, like the traits that most of us would want to have or want our friends to have. It's crazy. All of the people that he surrounds himself with at one point or another, they were his enemies. So
How does that make you feel? Like, do you ever feel like you want to have like enemy, like because of that anime, you want your enemies to become your friends one day? Have you ever considered that?
I mean, there were points where at first I didn't like certain people, then became friends, but I don't actively try to make people I don't like my friends. Usually it's like I like them first and then I don't like them. But there are definitely times where I don't like someone, and over time I got to see, a different side of them.
Yeah.
But, I found that interesting, but just his kindness, like everyone, oh, Goku's so kind, he's not, I don't know, I like that about his kindness, where you have Vegeta's more prideful, but I think to a degree he earns that pride. He was a prince of all Saiyans. I personally think he should have been the one to kill Frieza. It was his birthright.
Yeah, but they always try to make the main character do it because, main characters have to kill the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, like, what one person said online, it is Goku's story. But I really think he should have done that because Vegeta identifies with the Saiyan race more than Goku ever did. I remember the early episodes where Frieza was bossing around King Vegeta, his father, and Vegeta had to witness this, and he knew it was wrong. And for Frieza to blow up, was it the planet called Vegeta 2? Or like a Saiyan planet? To me, like, Vegeta should have had the right to kill Frieza, but that's just me.
Okay, like, to be honest, I think it's because, like, I'm a girl, like, and also, like, a lot of when it comes to, say, the Dragon Ball Z and stuff, like, I'm just gonna be honest, like, I wasn't into it, especially in the beginning, like, especially as a kid, like,
of course, yeah.
because I was more into, like, for little girls and stuff, and I was, like, very, like, oh, that's for guys, oh, that's for girls, and I actually do appreciate having to see, like, Dragon Ball Z and everything. It was just that, like, I felt bad, I still feel bad to this day, is that, like, I wasn't into it, and therefore I wasn't able to, like, catch up on it, because Dragon Ball Z is actually, like,
It makes sense.
it's a long
Yeah,
series.
it is.
Yeah, but when it comes to, like, other ones like Naruto, I feel like that's, even though that's for boys, that one was able to, like, oh yeah, there's girls,
Sakura.
like, there's some girls I can relate to.
I think a friend of mine and I had this conversation. I think the writer made, like, Sakura should have been a lot more, like, I don't know, I feel like she could have been a stronger character. Not, like, strength-wise, but she could have been written better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know, I mean, she is the strongest character, strength-wise. But I just feel like, I don't know, she could have been written better.
Her background, it wasn't that great, to be honest. It wasn't significant.
Right. What are we talking about? So, but speaking to that, did you watch Sailor Moon?
I did, actually. That was I still have the cassette tapes.
Wow.
Yeah, old school. I'm selling them. Just kidding. But yeah, like that one, I was a lot more into, mainly because it's like, oh wow, pretty girls. You know, I want to be like that, and to this day, still do. You know, but like I liked those ones because for girls they teach you to be still strong,
Right.
and yet still be pretty. You know,
Yeah.
just be like, hey, be elegant. You know, like hey, girls are compassionate. We are this, you know. We are kind. You can't be mean.
Yeah.
And it's true, you know, like, don't be mean.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch, you know.
Yeah, you can curse if you want. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I like Sailor Moon a lot. I used to watch it when it came on TV, and my uncles would make fun of me because I was watching Sailor Moon.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, they're uncles when you're a kid. I like Tuxedo Mask a lot. He's the male character.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I cried in one of the sagas where one of the enemies, I forgot his name, Nephlite or something.
Was he the Rose? Oh.
Huh?
Well, sorry, keep going.
Oh, okay. So there was an antagonist who fell in love with a human. Remember that? It was an early series.
Oh man.
Let me see. Sailor Moon.
The one I could think of, the one that made me sad was like the one of the movies.
It was this guy.
The Rose one.
It was this dude, Nephrite. He fell in love with one of Sailor Moon's friends, but he was an antagonist. He was a bad guy. And yeah, he fell in love with one of Sailor Moon's friends, and he tried to become good, but you know the bad guys with him, they killed him for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that. It was long ago. It was one of the earlier episodes.
I'm trying to remember like which one.
So like Jedi, remember Jedi? He was like the beginning. He was like the first bad guy, and then he died, and then Nephrite succeeded him.
They always die.
Let's see. Yeah, but yeah, he fell in love with
Apparently it's
falls in love. This one.
Wait, her? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Nephrite dies for love. This
one.
Remember this? I cried. Yeah, I cried. I straight up cried. So Naru falls in love with Sailor Moon's newest enemy, Nephrite. She's unaware that Masato Sajin is a bad guy, not human. Way to be old to be dating.
I mean.
But she doesn't care. Doesn't care that he's a bad guy. She shields him from Sailor Moon's tiara action. She was ready to die for him.
You know, stupid love, but.
Yeah. I'm looking at these pictures.
Damn it.
You know, so after they promise to eat ice cream together, I don't know who that is. Eventually find Naru and Naruto, impale him with some magical death sticks. Naru tries to help him at one point. Looks like the power of love would actually allow it, but Yuma attacks again. Nephrite shields Naru and takes much of the blow. He dies right in Naru's arms after apologizing for breaking the promise he intended to keep, eating those chocolate parfaits with her. His body disappears. All that's left is a bandage Naru ripped off her shirt from him. That was sad for me. I was I cried.
I just think about like because I do know like a lot of for every episode I feel like there's a lot of like some sad ones but also kind of realistic-ish.
Yeah.
Like the one that I have also it didn't even have to deal with an enemy or anything. It was just like two random like characters, and it's like about a mom and her child and how the child practices so hard kendo just to please her mom and tries to beat her, but the mom would just be harsh on her, you know. And like as a young as you know, I love my mom, but like having to think of, and there's times where you know like sometimes moms can become harsh on you, you know, and like be very strict with you, and even when all you want to do is just please them and make them proud of you. But it makes you so sad just having to see them in like public in an anime because you can't help but relate to it, you know. So you you cry for that. You cry for the little girl because she tries hard, but it's just like, you know, you shouldn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it does show a lot of, like, Sailor Moon has been, like, it shows a lot of great values of, like, especially not only to, like, but for girls, but for, like, moms too.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, hey, you know, love your kid, because Sailor Moon is a mom.
What?
She's a mom.
What?
Remember?
No, I don't remember.
She
this.
has a kid.
I forgot. I don't think I got in that deep. Wow.
Oh, no, they're married.
Well, I can see that happening.
Their daughter is Sailor Mini Moon.
Wait, the girl with the pink hair?
Yes.
No.
That was known as, like, yeah, I'm your daughter.
What?
That's what I remember. Yeah, it's like, you're my daddy.
Okay,
you're my mommy.
I thought she was just like this annoying little kid that followed her. Oh my god.
If she traveled. I think she time traveled or something along
Okay.
with, like, Sailor Pluto. But, like, that's what I remember, because there was this one time where, like, it was when she was trapped into a dream hole, and then it's basically like a mom moment, like, you know, it's mainly focused on their relationship, and it's just like something you care about, like a person you care about, even they're annoying little brats.
Yeah.
You know, you won't leave them.
Right. Interesting. So, you know, with all the anime, I like to talk about the problematic issues of it.
Mhm.
Can you talk to us about the objectification of young women in Japan? And I talked about it earlier, where, you know, older men lust for, you know, girls in uniform, the button-up shirt and a skirt. And to me, that was weird because they're in high school. But you said the consent in Japan is 14.
It is 14. Last time I checked.
Yeah.
And there's actually is some laws where they had to raise up the age.
Good.
just because I think there was so much prostitution or something. But I do, like, from what I've seen or at least heard about, is like there's some women who like, you know, high schoolers, you don't really know, but then you know they're wearing high school uniforms, and that kind of makes you kind of concerned, because this is when they would kind of sell their bodies, usually by dating, you know, like, oh, you know, like, go on a date with me, you know, like, oh, take me out to karaoke or something like that, you know, like, for this much. That's why there's a lot of love hotels and everything in Japan. I was there in Japan, I think 2015, and for 2 weeks. My sister was there for a whole year. So she had her own experiences of men objectifying her, and there was a lot of sexual harassment in train stations. I think you've heard of it.
Yeah.
And for me, the things that I've heard about is just like how, and one thing I personally witnessed was that, like, when me and my sister were talking in Shibuya, it was just a city, with a couple of friends, an old man that no one knows, just went into the middle and just started staring at my sister so uncomfortably that, like, he won't budge. He just tried to get closer.
Wow.
So we all had to leave at that point. We're like, oh no, this is way too strange.
Yeah.
And then just walking at night in Tokyo and just, like, looking around, enjoying the view, I had to see, like, kind of like a group of girls, like, trying to be, like, shy, like this one girl, like, how there's an old man groping her butt, like, under her
Oh my
skirt.
gosh, that's disgusting.
And then I was so traumatized, because I was already so far that I couldn't call out. But then I realized that no one's helping. And then I asked my sister, I was just like, hey, why is there, you know, like, why is this happening? And then she was just like, yeah, well, sometimes it's what it happens. And in the culture, you have to mind your business. You know, you have to turn away and make sure.
Yeah.
That's why now there's laws where, for trains, you have to catch the criminal, but it's still very you know, as much as it's encouraged, it's really hard. You know?
You know, that's unfortunate. You know, yeah, that's just disgusting. So you also draw. I think I remember when I first saw you, you showed me your pictures. I'm like, oh, you do, like, commissions. When did you get into drawing?
I've been drawing since I was 2, but, like, you know, But I got into drawing when I was in 3rd grade, and that's when I somehow got forced into this art school where I go to a college, and that's when I just start to learn how to draw. But I wanted to draw my anime.
Right.
But, you know, at that point, I kind of regret, like, not taking the art classes seriously, because I quit after a year or 2. You know, I still advanced really quickly for a 3rd grader, but it's like, you know, like, I still kind of use the skills now, but at that point, I just start learning about myself, looking through things that I like, and try to make my own stuff.
Right. Interesting. So I noticed you draw, like, characters with a story behind them. Can you tell us about that?
So I'm kind of making a story right now, and I mainly do it by character. So I make characters first. There's this one that I just posted on Facebook. It's called finest honey, the thick. Okay, just kidding. Her name's Honey,
Mhm.
but like she's she's a muscular, tall woman who is known to known to have the sweetest voice in the town. How like even though she was originally a singer at a bar, when she got married to the baker, she became basically not only in charge of finances and everything, because she's very good at like knowing accounting and everything. She also does the carrying. She does the she does a lot of carrying the flour and stuff, having to handle those things. She's not exactly the greatest baker, but she still does a lot of stuff that you kind of question, because a lot of men usually do that.
Right.
And one thing is that like she wants to have a family, like a large family, and which everyone does support. So in the story, there's like she was shown to be in her first trimester. Unfortunately, though, she miscarried, which is like this is her first child or would be child, and the fact that she lost it, it also brings this reality that miscarriages are real and very common, more common than we think.
Right.
And
right.
it's very depressing.
Yeah, that's really cool that you insert traits and certain characteristics about these characters that can be relatable. So I noticed that you do draw on tablets. What are the pros and cons of drawing on tablets for you?
Okay, well, a pro is because I'm left-handed. If I try to draw traditionally, it always smudges, and it becomes very pain in the ass to having to clean up and everything. Whereas for the tablet, you don't have to. There's no smudging due
Right.
to your own human error or whatever. But and when it comes to pros, you could color everything without anything smudging. That is if you use it correctly. And when it comes to a tablet, a con would. The number one thing is losing your tablet pen, because I've lost that many times, and I've lost it right now. I
Yeah.
lost it last night. I still can't find it. But it's mainly just losing it, being responsible, and also a lot of glitches that tend to be not as perfect as you would say for if you do traditional drawing.
Right. All right. So where can we find you on social media? Do you have an Instagram for your artwork yet or anything?
A lot of I usually post a lot of my stuff up on my personal one, which is Liezel at Liezel for Instagram. But the one that I've been kind of mainly for traditional art is called Trudel, where TRUEDLE, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, check that out if you do want to see my drawings and everything.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Wow, we went 76 minutes talking about memes and anime.
Oh my god.
I like this. I like this conversation. That was really good. Thank you so much for being on the show. I hope you all enjoyed those conversations. Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you so much.